I make.
Sorry, 1 second. Ready.
Have I discovered about Bilderberg?
Yeah.
The BBC was able to get the documents decades ago that they helped found the euro, which was actually a Nazi German plan to take over countries economically. No, that's on record. And I've interviewed members of the EU Parliament on the subject who were out there at the event.
But what's that?
3,000 people. They've earned 1,000. Bilderberg is heavily involved in the EU plan and helped hatch it, and it is a Nazi plan. They have Lockheed scandals, just like the big lobbying scandals right now in the 70s. And that's why the SS officer, Prince Bernhard, the founder, had to step down. It is the ultimate lobbying meeting. While you guys have this huge scandal going on, your prime minister's going there, Balls was just here, Bilderberg group member. We have forced them from cover to admit that there are puppeteers above the major parties.
David, so now we know
Infowars.com.
we know that Bilderberg has given us the euro.
Yes, I mean, if you talk to Alex very length of time, you discover all kinds of things that you didn't know about the world.
We've blown it wide open.
You have. You have absolutely blown it wide open. But it leaves me with a huge question for you, Alex. And it's really, you have uncovered the New World Order, which is deadly. It's full of what you call people who are criminals. Well, this is what I'm coming to. It's full of criminals, etc., who seek to run the world and will kill anybody who gets in their way. And you are almost, have been, a lone crusader powering against them. So how come? How are you still alive?
Why am I alive?
Which is the explanation? One, they don't exist. Or two, you're part of the conspiracy.
No, let me tell you a story.
I say the first.
5 years ago when Obama and Hillary,
I say the second.
5 years ago when Hillary and Obama were at Bilderberg and the Secret Service was there in helicopters, the New York Times came out and said I was crazy. There was no Bilderberg group meeting. And my wife got phone calls, and so did I, threatening to kill us. And the people said, and you better take it serious because you were just talking to your dad that was in the hospital. But you better shut your mouth or we're going to cut your head off.
But
now, that's
they were going to kill
that,
them.
they listen to everybody's phone lines. They call up and harass people that expose them and tell them what they were just talking about.
They harass
you're going to
people.
say there's no spying.
Alex,
It's like Nazi Germany. You only spy on the bad guys, huh?
You let him speak.
Well, look, I saw one of your ministers say this, though.
No, Alex, I am
tyranny.
No, shut up. I'm here to testify that your head is not cut off.
Ladies and gentlemen, they kill me, it turns me into a martyr. It puts big exclamation points on the end of what I've said, and I have put out a lot of information. There's millions of others that are exposing it. And look, we have mega banks that are getting $85 million a month of U.S. taxpayer money. Most of it goes to Europe and England. British taxpayers, EU taxpayers have to pay to these mega bankers. They're in there setting this up. It's come out. And then the media distracts you with, look at a guy that's talking to a lobbyist, when the real lobbyist is going on.
Listen, you're not going to dominate this. You get to speak to, it's not your own radio show. Should we be worried about Bilderberg at all?
It's kind of, it's mildly interesting, the Bilderberg group, and it feels, doesn't it, when you were talking about it in the film, slightly kind of out of date, as belonging to the era when when you couldn't even admit in Parliament that there was a secret, when we called the head of MI5M or whatever it was we called them, we couldn't admit these things. And so to the extent that it seems
people weren't ready to spy on yet.
What was that about?
People hadn't been acclimated yet.
Did you let him finish?
We're in a police state, 1984. You guys just want to normalize it.
Alex, how come you're here? If we're in the police state,
they actually turned back some of my reporters, but they didn't turn me back, and I was told this because they don't want to make a stink.
Do you think the BBC is part of the Bilderberg group?
Well, Winston Smith did work here. I mean, come on, Eric Blair worked here, and that's what he said it was.
Why do you think we let you on? Why we let you on then?
Because you guys think that you can manage the whole thing, and now our information's gotten too big. I have 3 million radio listeners a day. That's a low number. 3 million. I get about 50 million YouTube views a month. That's a very conservative number. I make films, put them online for free, they can watch 40 million times, like the Obama deception. And that's why, because the establishment doesn't know what to do.
Alex has this point, and it's an important one. I would have, say, 10 years ago, said, listen to all this stuff. He believes that people put cancer virus in vaccines in order to create a eugenics program. That's what he believes.
We talked about
and we would have said, and I would have said, hey, that's kind of mad and so on. And it's an interesting psychological phenomenon. The problem is, the conspiracy theories like this, I believe in.
Hey, listen, I'm here to warn people. You keep telling me to shut up. This isn't a game, okay? Our government in the U.S. is building FEMA camps. We have an NDAA where they disappear people now. You have this arrest for public safety, life in prison.
You are the worst person I've ever interviewed.
No, it's basically
We're-
off with their heads, disappear,
David, thank
take
you
them
for
away,
being with us.
Infowars.com, Liberty is
You're
rising.
watching the
Liberty is rising.
We have an idiot on the
Freedom will
program
not
today.
stop. You will not stop freedom.
20 minutes.
You will not stop the republic. Humanity is awakening. Infowars.com. No, you guys are.
I'll be with you in the week ahead with our political panel. Until then, the Sunday politics across the
You're
UK.
crazy. The Republic isn't waking up.